Hello, happy 2021. All I'm going to say is it can't be worse than 2020. Although by saying that, it probably will be. So, without any further ado, this is going to be my TBR, year-long style TBR video for 2021. I'm going to do two things in this video. I based off a few things that I experienced in my first 6 months here on BookTube. I'm not a huge fan of TBR videos because I am such a mood reader and I don't like to plan in advance, just because I've realized that does greatly affect my enjoyment of the reading, and I don't want to be burned out again like I was in December. So I'm doing 2-year-long goals, and one of them is participating in Buzzwordathon, which is put on by Books and Lala. I'll link her channel and the original video down below. But basically, the way I'm participating, and she goes into the details about how you can participate in Buzzwordathon, is each month has a category, and you're supposed to do for the first 7 days of each month, reading as many as possible. I'm just going to try and do one book a month that meets the categories. And I'm also just using the 12 books here as things to read that I want to read in 2021, no matter what. So if I read them on a month that they're not supposed to be assigned to, that doesn't matter. As long as I get all 12 done, I can say I participated in Buzzwordathon. So without further ado, I'm going to have to pause this video or start a new clip because I have to reach the books. They're kind of far away and it's a pretty heavy stack. So yeah, I'm going to go through the months and the words and the books in that order. And obviously, like I mentioned, assuming I would ideally like to read them one book a month in the correct months, but I'm not going to hold myself to that limitation. The goal is to just read all 12 of these books at some point. Okay, got the books. So basically, I'm going to go month by month, and one of the books I don't physically own yet, or plan on physically owning, I'm going to either get it from the library or get it on my Kindle, because that's just where I'm at with that particular book series. If I finish that whole book series, I will then buy all the books if I like it. I just don't want to... It's like a 15-book series. We're not going to buy those in advance if I don't like it. That's not how it works. So January's word is dream, so I'm going to read William Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night Dream. February is a color. White Oleander by Janet Finch. March is the word time, so I'm going to read Charles Dickens' Hard Times. April is space or galaxy terms. I had a few books that were things like stars and stuff, but what I wanted to do, because a lot of is to read the short story collection it's the Selected Stories of H.G. Wells, and that's not obviously a space title, but a lot of the, again, short story titles are things like, In the Abyss, Argonauts of the Air, The Star, so yeah, and there's more, but they weren't officially space themed, so I want to read this throughout the course of April. So that sounded like a fun thing to do, to read more sci-fi and to meet that requirement. The next question, or the next month if my phone would unlock, is... So May is house or home. Did I forget to grab one? I did. One sec. So May is house or home, and I thought I already had one in the stack, and it just might not be in the right order, but in the event I don't, I'm going to do Daphne du Maurier's The House on the Strand. So June is name or title. Circe. I should probably put this word on to shove my face in the camera. July is Last, so I have Last of the Mohicans. I read the great illustrated children's classic version of this, but the full book sounds like a good time. Time of day is August, and for this one I'm going to use, depending on where I'm at in the series in August, or again if I read it earlier and hit one but not the other, I am going to do either Crossroads of Twilight by Robert Jordan or Towers of Midnight by Robert Jordan, Brandon Sanderson, because I'm reading The Wheel of Time next year, and both of those books qualify in my personal opinion, so we're gonna go with that. And I don't own that one yet, and I lost the picture I was looking at. Sorry, y'all. 1 second, gotta scroll back down on my photos. Time to get my life together, maybe. Okay, here we go. September is Dark. So I'm going to do Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child's The Wheel of Darkness. October is Elements, and she defined this as like air, earth, water, fire, but also wind, lava, etc. So I'm going to do Tony Hillerman's The Wailing Wind. Ooh, that's shimmery. November is Lost, so I'm going to do Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol. And December is Day, Month, or Season, so I'm going to do Colin McCullough's The October Horse. So that is the books that I'm going to do for Buzzwordathon. Also in this video is going to be my 12 classics I'd like to read in 2021 TBR. Same thing applies, I don't have to read one a month, I can read more than one a month. I'm also, as you'll see whenever, I think in a few days, depending on when I actually schedule to post this video, I will be talking about a little buddy reading situation I'm doing with Kat from Katie Reed's channel with some John Steinbeck. Those classic books are not going into my classic stack. So assuming I read all 3 to whatever of the Steinbeck books, plus these 12 here is going to be a total of 15, and then I know I'm getting a few classics for Christmas, and I also, through fate and just life stuff happening, came into a lot of books, which is why I have like now a whole shelf of Daphne du Maurier books. I'll probably read more classics next year than I did this year, is all I'm going to say, but I for sure want to try and read these 12. So, and this is technically 3 books in one, but I'm going to just say this is a book. So I would like to read The Man Outside by Donnelly, Castles in Spain and Stratton, and Macabre's Kingdom by Way. This is a beautiful little edition, so got it from my grandmother. It's the Romance Treasury is what it's officially called, so that's super exciting. I'd like to read Don Quixote by Cervantes. I know he has a first name. I don't know if that's important. Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra. So I started this before I went to Spain last year, and I didn't get a chance to finish it, but I really enjoyed what I had started, so it's on my goal to officially read the entire thing this year. Was told in my life to read more Aldous Huxley, and I had this awesome little vintage edition that I got at Half Price Books, so I don't really know what it's about, but Point to Counterpoint by Aldous Huxley. Just because the hardback guy looks cool too. That is the 3rd one. Farewell to Arms, Ernest Hemingway. Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. Penguin Classics Epic of Gilgamesh, which I believe is the first recorded literature ever made, so yay. Lawrence Stern's The Sentimental Journey. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. Every year I kind of pick a challenge book to focus on all summer and to read very slowly. Last year's was War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I love Leo Tolstoy now. I say that only having read that one and half of Anna Karenina, but anywho. The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer is my chunker of a challenge book for next year. I don't know if I'll get through all of it because it is such Old English, but one can hope and dream. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Look at this this was the Owl Crate Special Penguin Horror Edition. First thing I've ever bought from Owl Crate. It's beautiful. Boris Pasternak's Dr. Zhivago. Wanting to read more Russian literature than just Tolstoy, so I thought I'd spice it up with this guy. And last but certainly not least, Daphne du Maurier's My Cousin Rachel. They were stacked in size order, so anyways. So yeah, those are the classic books and the Buzzwordathon books I'd like to read over the course of 2021. I think that I want to do less monthly TBRs and more just taking the TBRs that I have, these 2, and kind of implementing them as I can through readathons that pop up in BookTube and on the online reading community, and kind of just try and read more by my mood and my interest. And I know I want to tackle, like I was saying, the Wheel of Time. I have some more stuff for the Sander fans read along coming up, and I'm doing a whole Steinbeck thing. And that seems like enough goals for the entire year, if I must say so myself. So happy reading, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Like, subscribe, do the things. Let me know what you're planning, your big reading challenge is going to be for the year 2021. I did forget to mention, I typically always do my Goodreads reading goal at like 50 because I don't want to pressure myself. I think I'm going to up that to like 75 this year just because I'm filming this in mid-December and I've already hit 95 books. So I just want to add a little bit more goal stretching. I think just with those few readathons that I'm doing and these 2 TBR stacks, I would hit like 50 books. So that's, I want to push myself a little bit more just because I have so many books, and I do want to focus in 2021 on being better about buying less books and actually reading more of the books I have and utilizing my library or ebook, audiobook edition versions of books, just because I don't have any more space in my house. I'm surrounded by stacks of books upstairs on the floor, so not even where all the rest of my books are. So that being said, I hope to buy less books this year. I hope to read a lot of the books I do have, and I totally anticipate that I'm going to read a ton of books just because I always do and I love reading. But I want it to be more mood focused, with the exception of these like 2 goals, which I think I can incorporate into the moods that I'm feeling, if you catch my drift. So anyways, I'm going to stop rambling now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy your 2021 more than 2020. So happy reading again. Like, subscribe. I'm going to repeat myself, but I'll see you next time.